6:30, I'll call the meeting to order. Any modifications or changes to the agenda?
Nope, not that I have any.
All right. Next up, public comment. Looks like we might have a couple members of the public tonight.
I'm just visiting, just to see the process a little bit more. Saw the post on Facebook and considering running to join y'all.
All right.
You're welcome. My name's Julie, by the way.
I have just a quick question. Can somebody tell me in 100 words or less what the deal is with the parking right by the armory?
You're doing 5 words or less.
Pardon me?
He said he can do it in 5 words or less.
5 words or less?
State of Vermont. Yeah, it's a little bit out of our jurisdiction because that's state property. Oh, sorry, hold on one second. I don't see anybody on, but I gotta record. I mean, I know the health officer through the town and the village, Sandy's aware. They're kind of doing what they can, but it is state property. So the state's been notified. I've been asked. I was going to track down a couple people want a number or a contact with the state. I mean, we just call the AOT office. And they're in the process of trying to get those folks out of there. But I guess it can be quite time consuming to do that and timely to do it.
I would think the health office would be the route to go.
Same.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Can't imagine there's much argument here.
I've been questioned this, and has any problem been caused by them?
I hadn't heard of any until this morning at a meeting I was at. Somebody had mentioned that they were at the skating rink and heard some stuff. I don't know how bad or what. That's the first complaint I've heard. I mean, I've never even seen, I've only seen the cars and campers. I've never even seen anybody outside the car or camper, but that was the first one I've heard of anybody complaining of any issues.
I've been told that they made their way up here from, somebody said they started way down in Sharon at rest areas down there, and they've been moving their way up. They're parking rides, getting kicked out, and moving to the next one, and getting kicked out, moving to the next one.
Going to a warmer climate.
I think they're headed the wrong direction.
Yeah. Are there any services we could call? Like NCSS or somebody? Try to see if we
My
can get them in a
understanding
different
is they
situation.
have, the school reached out to me about it, and I guess there's a couple of younger kids in there, but I don't even, can't confirm that. That's word of mouth. So the school wanted some information on it too, to see if they had an angle to help out. I don't know how far they got, but again, I don't know names, I don't know anything of them.
Okay. Yeah, that could be an approach, see if there's some organization that has some services they could offer them.
I believe the new pastor at the Methodist Church did. Reach out to them, and they didn't want any help.
That's also what I heard too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's the case, yeah, but, yeah,
Never hurts to ask.
exactly.
Does that answer your question? As well as we can?
Close enough.
And I think
We're getting close.
Is the speed sign by your place still working? Or is that lost its gusto?
It didn't have much gusto.
they don't even know it's there. Most people.
Pardon me?
They probably don't even know it's there. They'll look
Apparently
and
not.
just.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that area a little bit, and I wonder if there's any ways we can make the road narrower, because we know from studies in the past that narrower roads slow people down. And like just thinking, sometimes I don't remember the roads, but I go in more of a back way and through Essex, and one of their roads, it narrows, and this road's not wide enough, but like it has one of those like diamond sort of center things that kind of slows you down, and there's a speed bump, so they use 3 different strategies.
Sort of,
Jericho.
Yeah, in the Jericho area, yeah.
Spin hollow.
maybe do what they did up on top of not Mansfield, it's 108, going over the
Smuggler's
notch.
Notch, yeah.
With the, some S curves or something
Yes,
in
what
there
are
too.
those
Or
called?
something.
I feel like-
Chicanes.
Chicanes.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a name for it.
That's definitely something we can,
We can look
Review
into and
again.
like,
Yeah.
kind of, there might be grants, there might be something at some point if we have an idea, but we've definitely read enough studies to know that narrowing the road slows traffic down.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could look into that.
yep, well, yeah. All right. I don't see any other members of the public, so we'll go on to review and approve minutes for the December 9th, 2026 meeting. If everybody's had a chance to look those over.
I didn't see any issues with it.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
All right, David made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Heather seconded. All those in favor?
Okay.
Opposed? So moved. All right, next up, 594 West Enosburg Road / Route 108 water allocation request.
I guess we've signed off on it. We don't have any concerns. At first, they thought the line had to cross 108, which that's actually, but it doesn't. It actually, our main line crosses and about right where that person wants to hook on, so, we don't see any issues. We don't have any, we have plenty of allocations for water. We don't have wastewater up there, so they can't get it, so it'll just be a water allocation.
Great.
This is existing or they're building.
They're building, I guess they have, well, they thought they had 3 lots, because that says 3 lots, but I guess after some testing or whatever, wetlands and all that, they barely have an extra lot. They have houses there and then an extra lot. So as far as I know, they're only gonna have 1 more lot back there to build.
All right, if no one sees any issues with that, I'll take a motion to accept the water allocation request.
Make a motion.
I'll second that. Moved by David, second by Leonard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, number 5. Action to approve the implementation of a $50 per month non-AMI meter fee for customers receiving water and wastewater services starting in February.
Happy to report that we're 100% compliant.
Oh,
Every water meter's been changed and programmed and running in the village.
So that's no longer a thing.
I figured we should, it's up to you, I guess, keep it in there just in case something happens and we ever have to go back. And it basically, I mean, at this point, we're gonna discontinue, we have what they call a wand. But as soon as that breaks, it kind of gets us by if anybody decided that they wanted to go back the other direction. We do have some service agreements in that wand. That would be an expense for, let's say one person decided to get rid of it and want to go back to an old school meter. So this would just be to cover that cost if that ever to happen.
makes sense.
So it's up to you if you want to continue with the process and add this into our water ordinance and wastewater ordinance, and like we can do that. In our ordinance, it literally has the right to change. We can change it every meeting if we want.
So
Or
it's-
we can bag
even
it.
if they build new houses and nobody wants to put the new AMI in there.
Right, this would cover us for
This
that.
covers for that,
I think it's a good idea.
yeah.
I think, do you have a plan for notifying customers?
We would if right now we're 100% compliant. If somebody came to us and decided not to, then we would let them know, and or when they go to build, we
Could
Let
could
them
you
know.
do another comment on the next bill that goes out? And say that everybody's in compliance with the meters, but we do have a fee for anybody that switches back to the readable meters. And
I mean, the people that were hanging on to the end are aware. So
I don't know if I was.
Yeah, I don't think we need this.
I don't wanna
Yeah. Totally fine
advertise
to
it.
I talked to
From
somebody.
the-
I talked to somebody today that looked at the front of this and said, "What, $50 a month?" And I said, "No, that's
Yeah.
only if you don't have."
It would
So
probably.
it would
Right.
probably cause more of a
Yeah, just-
stir than it would
Yeah.
help.
Okay.
Sounds
Yeah,
good to me.
I think now's a good time to put that on here. Just be up.
That way, here on 4th, it's
It's set.
Yep.
All right, so we'll take a motion to approve the implementation.
I'll make the motion.
Oh, I'll make the motion.
All right, motion's been made.
I'll second it.
Jason's got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Number 6, the purchase of the Spavin Cure building by the village.
Probably gonna word this a little differently. But it did help get some people riled up.
That is true.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, a purchase would be an option for the village. It's not at all what I would like to see, but I guess the question more is, do we keep pursuing to support an investor to come in and buy this
Did,
Batman here, or do we kind of just let it stay course, or do we help promote it, help push it along? There are a few investors out there. Again, we would, I'm guessing, I can't say 100% sure, but again, the CHIP process, which is that, the financing process, which would basically, more than likely, an investor that's somewhat savvy will have heard of this and come to the village and ask to be a part of it. And again, with that, have the wording here. They can word it a lot better than I do. But basically, they would probably come to us and be looking for any part of that process through the CHIP. Problem with it, we would probably be looking, the funding that we would be looking to do would probably be for streetscaping. Because normally it's built to get infrastructure out to a location. If it hasn't been, or if it's old and worn out infrastructure to an old abandoned building or something. In this case, we have brand new water line in front of the building, and we have a brand new, basically, wastewater line right in front of the building, and power's no problem there, so. We would probably be on the fringe of the CHIP process and try to use the increment financing to do some streetscaping. It's probably what we would use it for as far as infrastructure. So I think it's more of just brought up and I guess to see, is that something, maybe not the purchase of it, but the continued efforts into helping get an investor in here to take a look at it and kind of get it out of the hands of the person that has it now so that it can make some movement.
You're saying allocate time towards it, or
That's the problem. I don't really have a lot of time to allocate towards it.
okay.
But I would, I guess, if it starts to get more serious and more serious investors come forward, I would, I'd come back again and be like, what does this look like and how can the village help? If we want to go that direction.
I think that would be the time to do it, is if there actually is a serious investor,
Yeah.
to me.
Right.
So-
Sorry.
you had mentioned a couple of investors, some ideas a few months back. Is that done? Have they walked away? Is it still a conversation?
The struggle, I think, is the seller makes it hard. So I think that maybe the concept would this seller be more apt to just sell to the village. I think this is where this concept came from. And then we would be kind of almost like, again, not something I want to get into, but we'd almost be the real estate owners for a little while and then talk to an investor and have them come buy it out from the village.
Right.
And some municipalities have done this before because
Yeah.
it sparks some economic development. Great to have some housing and multi-use space or something there.
Is there a big tax liability we'll lose off of that while we own it?
No.
And then, is it a historical building?
It is.
Is there some grant funding that could help with that somewhere out there in the world?
That's tricky too. The seller has gone after some and looked at some. And actually, they're kind of halting right now on some of the repairs because they should be, doing it at historical. So,
Okay.
but it's one of those weird ones because it's deemed historical, but it's got vinyl siding on it now. So, you're gonna take that off and have to restore that back to whatever it was. You have to research that.
Clapboards or whatever it
Yeah.
was.
So, I guess it's more keeping you in the loop. That do you want to continue to help pursue this and do something with that building, or do we just let it stay in the private sector and see what happens with it? I guess. And that's more of my question, I guess, just not to you folks, the public. Do they want to see something happen there, or everybody's happy with just being an empty building? And
I'm sure everybody would like to see something happen there,
yeah.
but
At what cost though? Is what
Exactly.
we have to go
the
at.
resources that we would need to devote to it.
We don't have those.
I guess we'd have to start
resources.
there.
Right.
Sorry. Start there and figure out like
Are
what
you seeing-
amount of money would have to go into that and then allocate it somehow and get voted on, obviously.
yeah,
Go ahead, Gary.
It is on the registry?
that's it's got the plaque out front. Yeah, it is on the.
Has Cameron looked at that?
He has, yeah. I don't think it's a project he's gonna go after, but FCIDC is also trying to figure out how they can be involved. They're definitely a player trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I definitely want to know what it would cost if we were to think about it.
The purchase price, the last I've heard, was $450,000.
Has it?
He's been
It
sticking to
started
that
quite a
price.
bit higher than
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's true. The problem is like it being designated historic means yes, there are grants and yes, renovations are going to cost so much more
Yeah.
than
Right.
otherwise. So that's kind of like a trade-off in some respects.
I think we should just kind of stay the course right now.
Stay the course.
That's my feeling.
All right, I'll keep you updated on as things come to me, and I'll let you know.
Sounds good.
Might be a tough year to ask for extra right now.
For sure.
All right, number 7. ATVs in the village follow up to set a date for public comment / questions.
So, my understanding is I set that on my calendar for today to find out, I guess, the game plan moving forward. And do we set up a public comment or?
We discussed having a public meeting, inviting VASA, game wardens. You said they were on board.
Yep.
I think that's.
I think we should, now that we're getting closer to
I think that would be a good thing to do. Be nice to see it as an item for the residents to vote on. Maybe not decided at that meeting.
I agree.
Might be something to do at the annual meeting.
Yeah, and we're close to the end of
Right.
the date,
Yeah.
why can't we do it then?
Yeah, I think
that was the goal, I think.
to have
To have a public meeting and then have it
Yes,
set
okay.
to be voted on at the.
yes, because the public meeting date is too close to the vote. I think for people. So I think it should be its own special meeting,
Right.
well in advance, a couple weeks in advance, so people can really get behind that. And if there's any early voting, but
Is there a certain amount of time between when we have this meeting to when the vote occurs? Is there a certain number of days that has to be
There
warned?
is, I have it in there. Yeah, I think it's 45
45 days.
That's right.
that we have to.
So I think that would be January 25th.
so soon. That's a Saturday.
You're right, I just counted back 45 days from the meeting date. But that's counting the meeting day. I don't know if it's the day before or if you can count that day. So I would say that's next Saturday or Sunday.
Wait, is that when we have to have the meeting or the
We have
it
to,
Have to warn it.
Warn
we have to warn
Yes.
it. We can
So I
have,
guess we could have the public meeting anytime.
we could have the public meeting anywhere in
Yes.
between there, we just have to warn it by the 45
Yeah.
days, if that's something we wanna put on the.
Yes, okay. Yeah. Makes sense. So picking a date is.
Is there a day of the week that's better for any of you folks?
Depends on the time.
Right.
Evening would
It'd be an
be,
evening.
would be horrible, it wouldn't really matter.
Our February meeting's the 10th. I was thinking maybe doing it on an off day like a Thursday or something. 12th, 19th.
If we did it on the 12th, it would be like a reminder on the 10th.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
That was where my thought process was going with that.
I don't have a conflict that day, and that's
So 12th of
February.
February.
it's plenty before the school vacation. Meaning
I'll have a haircut that
most
day.
people will be around.
You have a haircut that
Yeah, I
day?
have a haircut that day.
Ah. Which hair?
Just kidding. Just this one.
I don't know, does February 12th sound good to everybody? We'll see if we can get the game wardens and the Vasa guys on board.
Yeah, let
That's
me,
a start.
let me go, let me
Do we
figure.
want to pick a backup date if they're not available since we're all in the room?
19th? Do it the following Thursday?
Can't do the
Okay.
19th.
17th? Tuesday?
I could do that. Just a heads up though, it's a school board meeting for Enosburg Richford. So, and with budgets coming up, it might be
I know I have a
a
conflict,
conflict
the
with the
18th.
community.
We know we don't want to do it on Friday the 13th.
No, no, definitely not.
I mean,
The 11th, could Wednesday the 11th work?
yeah, I could do the 11th.
So our preference is the 12th, but we could our backup date could be 11th if the presenters aren't available.
That would be okay with me.
Okay, I'm good with that.
All right, so we're gonna go
That
ahead.
would be here or
Probably should have it at the emergency
Yeah.
services building. I would say, if
Think
it's
so.
available.
That would be a good idea.
Just more space for more people to get in on the action.
so the 11th,
We're gonna shoot for the 12th,
12th.
and if the people aren't available to come to the meeting, we're gonna go try the 11th.
And public meeting, anybody, or just?
Anybody can
or
come,
anybody,
Yeah.
no?
really.
Right.
I mean, we're not voting on anything, so.
Okay.
Yeah, typically in those meetings, the board just gets to decide if non-residents get to speak.
Right.
And generally, you know, we've let that.
Okay.
As long
it
as
is
it's
our-
respectful,
Right.
but,
I think a lot
Adds
of
to the
people that
conversation.
are,
yeah,
that would like this are maybe in Florida.
could be.
Well, we'll definitely make sure to have the Zoom option, the Meets
Do a
option.
Zoom up there, I think.
Yeah, we'll have the virtual option as well. We can bring our owl and they have the
Yeah.
screens up there, so.
All right, so that sounds good, everybody?
Yep.
All right.
Just along with that, just should make sure that it's very well advertised because we want people in the meeting and informed.
Yeah. Hello, Shauna and Abby.
Oh.
All right, next up, 2026 budget request from trustees, follow up with numbers.
Sorry, I'm just technical difficulties. So basically just a list of things that last meeting you folks asked for, so I just went and got all the numbers and presented it. This was the budget. list of budget items that you folks came up with. Basically on that, this sheet right here, kind of tells you the numbers I came up with that were asked. So it's kind of like, instead of doing a manager's report, you asked for those numbers, I got those numbers, and we can then speak to a couple other requests. One was for, which I
Just in
think
your
is
regular packet.
all in here. E-bike question, and then I just put in here, the other question was if we tried to get rid of a road. That's in here. So one of the questions or asked for this budget was paving Missisquoi Street extension. It'd be close to $66,000. That was we would need to replace 2 culverts. Our team would do that, replace those 2 culverts, and then the paving company would come through and do the paving. It's not a very wide road. I think it's only 18 feet wide. But it'd be about $65,000 to do that, $66,000 on estimated. Somebody asked about the chairs in here. I give you a question.
Yeah, is that in a flood zone down there?
No. I mean, well, it does flood, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's not
not that I'm aware of.
designated as a flood
No.
zone.
The water has gone up over there, but usually it sits kind of stagnant. It's not one of the spots where it's high current.
And the
As
ice
far as
doesn't,
as far as I've seen.
And I have to look at, there's actually a new map out. I'd have to look at that new map. There's a new flood zone map out. I'm gonna look at that map to see if they've changed it, because I know they did raise a few spots. So, like I think out here, one of them came up a little bit.
Alright.
Would that matter, or would that?
I don't know, if it's prone to flooding, is it worthwhile paving it and having, by chance, wash out? I was thinking, it probably wouldn't be worth paving it if it's gonna have to be repaired every couple of years.
Every spring.
Right.
Yeah, I don't, from my understanding, I gotta ask Ken this, I don't think we've ever had to like bring in fill and like do major repairs, but I think there's been times where they had to go back and grade and so forth.
Which we don't really have
Which
the
is-
equipment to do.
Which is kind of the problem we were running into while we were talking about paving. It was on an account that we don't really have the equipment to maintain the dirt roads themselves. It's kind of been a battle, I would assume, just getting in there with the graders and stuff like that. Don't have them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, I mean, those, I think one culvert was kind of fine, but the other culvert it wouldn't hurt to replace it anyway, so. That would also help make a little bigger culverts,
Yeah.
the drainage from the, I guess, north side of the road. Again, chairs, I mean, I found some for $100, found some to $500, but if you wanted to be more comfortable, you'd probably be spending over $200.
I think we're thinking like heated massage.
Well, they're like $450. They have those like gaming ones too that were like $400.
I bet.
Those vibrate.
Signs for the Depot Street, East Street. The good news there is I did. I'm working on a grant from the state. I guess technically, if you apply, you're going to get it. So I'm going to put this number into the grant. It's kind of a funny grant because it's like limited what you can do. Signage and line striping. You can't put new guardrails up, but you can replace old guardrails, which you don't really have any. So we're going to focus on line striping and these signs. But normally when we do the line striping every year, it's not like we don't usually do the EV charger. We don't do the handicap spots. So we're gonna add all that in
Okay.
for a nice big fresh paint for the paint.
Would this grant possibly cover more of the flashing crosswalk signs? Is that a thing?
It does do signage. I can try to push that through.
Can't hurt to ask, right?
Yeah.
They said like curves and stuff, but I can ask for the flashing crosswalk one. So, I mean, I'll put it
Always
all
use a
in
few
there.
more sets of those.
Yeah. So that will be covered. We brought up the buying of the property behind Hannaford's.
That's for access to the backside of the cheese plant.
Correct.
Correct.
I mean, that's approximately about $160,000. It is zone commercial, but there's a section, I don't know, we'd have to figure out, that is kind of considered a wetland on the Franklin Food side. And then you also have the section that you can't really get into because of the rail trail right away. Comes up, I think, 50 feet there, off there, so. So that's that number. And then you asked the East Street paving, and that was a shim and overlay is approximately $11,000.
That one's bad, but Main Street's worse.
Main
This
Street.
street's gotten really bad.
I see the boys out there filling holes the other day.
Yeah,
Yesterday
Main
morning.
Street's been bad for a while.
Yeah, made it a little better, but it still looked,
It's
just came off it
and
today.
actually,
and it was like, ooh.
it's something to talk about. Maybe with DFA. It looks like they put a lot of large stone down for.
No, Ken did that. He put gravel in because that's all he had because the coal patch was
okay.
frozen.
Oh,
So he had to bring the coal patch in and thaw it out,
yeah.
and then we
Okay.
put coal patch in the back of the truck and put a salami in.
It looked like it came out of the parking lot, and I was like,
Mm.
No,
okay,
'cause
that
They're out
makes
there
more
with
sense.
weed burner torches and
Trying to-
leaf blowers.
Nice.
So yeah, that's. I mean, I think. I mean, once we get there, I mean, we are working on budgets. We'll present them here shortly. We can start discussing them. But I mean, I think that paving from Orchard Street up, it may have to be a must. I don't know. And see what we finance out and see what it'll do to the.
Yeah, that
Tax
road
rate.
is bad.
Yeah.
Is part of that they're using an incorrect aggregate or incorrect
You mean the Main Street?
tar? Yeah,
It's just
after they
old.
did it. No, where they,
I
we did this.
Where
water
Munson
line and
dug
sewer
up, I
line,
think
And
it
then they,
wasn't packed enough underneath, and it might have settled some
it
because
settled
it
in,
seems to have gotten a lot worse over the
You're
last.
talking about DFA?
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Or
no,
well,
Talking
no,
about
Main
Jimmy's.
Street
Main
and
Street.
Well, I mean,
Elm Street.
that portion seems to have
the problem was is
fell away.
that we had to cut, unfortunately, just kind of right to the tire mark.
Right.
Well, they did the work.
And
So
a
it's
lot
not like you could go over half a lane and pave that.
Yeah.
And you couldn't, it was just inside the road, so it wasn't just off the road. So, I mean, we kind of knew it was gonna be trouble when they came back through the paving. Paving wasn't a part of it.
The other part of
other
that
than-
is the new gravel will heave at a different rate than the
Yeah.
old gravel does too. In the wintertime, you might see come summer that flattens
Levels
all
out a
the way
little
back
bit.
out.
Yeah, it's bad. And then the other problem too is, again, I don't know, I mean, they're all over Vermont. I don't know who thought of this idea of, it's cement under there in those sections, so you know where they are, because you can count them as you go down.
Is that why we have the lines that go
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
across?
cement.
across
underneath
there. That's from West Berkshire Road down.
Interesting.
So,
Is that it for budget requests?
that's what you folks
Pretty
have.
much all that we put in
Okay.
last time.
And then, like I said, the only other items on that list which are in here, and we can review them now, or if you just want to read up and then come back.
Yeah, I think so.
The e-bike laws, again, when I talked to Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns, it doesn't sound like any municipalities have really taken this on, except, I gotta remember if it's class 1 or class 3.
Class 3 is the faster one.
Is it? Yeah. So then some municipalities are looking at the class 3 because I guess those are getting up to 40 miles per hour. So they're starting to have
So I was gonna say,
roads.
look, it says in here 28, but I was like, they'll go
They go well over
significantly
that.
faster. Some of them.
Would this include the scooters?
So
I think anything, yeah.
not so much on roads or anything like that, but I've seen a lot of other states. I'm not sure if Vermont does it yet, but they do say like on public property, like trails and things like that, they can go up to class 1 or class 2. But once you start getting up in that class 3, it's dangerous for other people on the trails because they go, like you said, significantly faster.
So yeah, I mean, that might be an option to put no class 3 on sidewalks or something. I don't know how you enforce it, but
I think it gives us a little food for thought.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be on the sidewalks anyway, are they?
Yeah, it
Right.
shouldn't be on
They
sidewalks.
shouldn't be on the sidewalks. I mean,
Even
all bikes are allowed on the
Yeah,
road.
yeah, bicycles
They
really
are.
aren't,
So
like, for
I meant the
kids,
scooter.
it's generally
Oh.
much safer for a child to be,
Right.
like, but they're supposed to be on the road following road. That's- Yeah,
Which
Yeah.
was interesting when I went to Washington DC last month. That almost every corner they had the e-scooters and bikes for rent.
Right.
yeah. It's pretty cool, they have them in
Hundreds of
Burlington,
them.
Yeah, they do,
Yeah.
I think, right?
and,
And I watched a lot of people on the scooters, and they're doing the same thing that they were doing up here, going down the road faster than the cars were, cutting in front and taking left turns when they shouldn't.
I wonder if, like, we could just do a little bit of, like, communication and reminders about like bike
That's
safety and e-bike
not a bad
safety.
idea.
Just remind folks, like, these are, like,
Right.
Local Motion has a lot of stuff on Facebook and their website. We could just share out Local Motion information,
yeah, we-
direct people to those websites. I think a lot of it is just people aren't thinking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad way to go.
Yeah.
So I'll put it on the calendar to maybe a reminder as we get closer to spring.
Yep. Start
Yeah, I think
throwing
that's
some
a
stuff
good
out
idea.
there.
Yeah, I've been
And
kind of
then-
like wondering about that with general traffic patterns too, because like there's just certain times of the year where we notice certain traffic patterns or whatever, and it's just like reminders. It's just like how you get those schools back in session next week. Don't forget about
forget the
stopping
bus.
for the bus. Yeah, just remind the
saw
community and
somebody-
engage the community and
Yeah.
helping all of us be safer and more respectful in some cases.
Yeah. I saw somebody in Richford this morning blow right through a bus stop, and I was like,
What the heck?
I got grumpy.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing that.
All right.
And then lastly, I mean, when I researched the road, I think it was, we didn't know the answer at the time. It was assumed that the landowner, but supposedly if at least 5% of the town's voters have a petition, then it can go in front of the public for public hearing and then follow a process to. I think we were thinking it had to be brought forth by the landowner. That is one way, but the other way
Can you
is.
backtrack from where we?
We just were discussing being done with dirt roads. So we had,
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was waiting to make a note and I didn't catch the
Yeah.
segue.
those are probably involved in the e-bike thing too.
So if anybody has any other questions or, I mean, I just, if you wanna read through all that and
Yep.
review,
have
come
a
back,
chance to review them.
thoughts, suggestions.
You see, looks like Jesse's here now. Hi, Jesse. All right. Next up is
I think we're
number
muted.
9.
Hold on.
Oops,
Maybe-
sorry.
Hopefully, Shauna hasn't tried to say anything. Can you guys,
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, guys. Hi, everyone.
It's all good.
not to put you on the spot, Jesse, but we will.
Welcome.
Have you heard any more of the campers at this state park and ride? It was a question.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard something about it, I'd be in a warm climate right now, so. No, I haven't. I have reached out to A&R, talking with their enforcement division. I've reached out to Vermont State Police. Sandy Murphy, the health officer, has reached out to V-Trans. We reached out to the health department. Yeah, and they're all we're in limbo with all that, so.
So not any more movement than we last discussed.
No, with A&R, we had to, basically they wanted verification if they were dumping. I went over the bank and tried to figure out what was going over there, if they were. They're definitely not dumping directly behind the campers. There is, a beaten, when the snow was really deep, there was a beaten down path, down to the bottom of the hill. I didn't have proper footwear that, I went about 3/4 of the way down the hill and I couldn't see anything, but I've gotta go back down in there again, because they basically want photo evidence, A&R does, so.
Is there a fire?
I don't understand why V-Trans can't, and this is just me off the cuff, I don't understand why V-Trans can't just issue a no trespass order to the case to get them out of there. I'm not trying to be a heartless person here, but that's not the place for them to be staying, and typically that's how you would just be, they call VSP, issue a no trespass order, they would issue it and they would, move on, but I don't really understand why they're not, so.
Is there a fire hazard there? Heating campers.
There would be no, if there was a fire hazard, like if you went to the fire marshal, I don't know what jurisdiction they would have there. It's definitely a fire hazard because they got a wood stove in one of them, but.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, I know there's children there. I know they talked about DCF. I don't know if anyone, I haven't contacted DCF in that regard, but I don't know if anyone else has. I don't know if there's really cause to call DCF, but I know there's been a kind of scuttlebutt about that, so.
Well, thanks for the update.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I wish there was a better, like I said, we've exhausted all avenues. I've talked with A&R extensively, and he has been, he's been very responsive. He just knows how, if it goes to the courts eventually, which it would have to, probably eventually, the courts haven't been the tightest on that. You gotta have everything, your T's crossed and your I's dotted. He said, you can give me visual evidence, Jesse. He said, I'm better prepared with that. So, like I said, I went one time over that bank, so.
Yep. Snow's not as deep now.
Yeah, right.
Just call us if you slide all the way to the bottom.
You wanna come down with me, Eli?
I'll hold the rope at the top.
Okay.
We'll bring the digger truck
The rope
over.
would be a heck of a lot better than I had.
I make a pretty solid anchor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, while I was here, not to get you out of order, my son had a basketball game tonight. I was kind of here. I was curious about the Spavencure agenda item, and I didn't know if you guys have already touched on that or passed that or.
We have, and it's basically we're staying status quo. I put in there to purchase, but it was more just purchase or I guess you have some of my time used to help, talk to an investor to come in and buy it from the seller. Because I guess there's a couple sellers out there. The thought was if the village purchased it and get it out from beneath the current owner, it might help things move along faster. But at this point, the trustees agree that we'll just try to see if any other investors want to come forth and work on purchasing it from the seller, and then if that person does come forth and gets something moving, then we'd probably start looking into the chip process with them. So that's kind of where it stands at this point.
He wants to remain relatively anonymous right now. He's kicking the tires, but I have been talking with somebody that supposedly had been in talks with a realtor regarding that place. It's very much in infancy. He came to me probably 3 weeks ago and kind of asked about it. I had given him what I had known up to that point. I don't know if it's gonna come to any fruition. I'm sure the sticking price still is the price point on it. I've heard it's dropped since, but it's still, still pretty hefty.
What's the number you heard?
5.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. So, and I know there's a lot of questions with the neighbors in that area there, especially Champlain Street. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Is the access point gonna be back here? What's gonna happen? And, I gave him full discrepancy. I mean, it's wet back there. It's wet where Champlain Street is. I mean, you'd have to do some environmental studies, I'm sure, with the state. So.
And that was part.
So.
Yeah, and that was part of the question too. I mean, hopefully get some public comment on it. And I mean, do we just let it sit there and go as it goes, or do we try to help move it along?
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, no, that was all I was on here. I was just kind of curious. I didn't know if you guys had a different idea, because that's another thing. If I had a nickel for every time someone asked me what was going on there,
Yeah.
The current listing is 539 on the site, just yeah.
All
Well,
right.
thank you.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Do you have something for us, Shauna?
I think she was.
No, I was mostly just here to listen in.
Okay.
Was curious about this Cure. I missed it, but just got your recap.
Great.
Just wanted to listen in, see what was going on. Thanks for getting me in there.
Awesome. Always glad to have you.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, dedication of the annual report. I've got a name in mind. Someone who recently retired. I think Andy would be a good choice. I don't know
It's
what
up
you
to you,
guys think.
so I mean,
Heather?
For some reason, I feel like we talked about this one already.
Nope.
Did you have another name?
Did we mention Avis? I think we had mentioned.
We had mentioned Avis, but
Okay. No, we could do.
you could do it.
We can do a
you
double.
could do joint.
Yeah.
We did talk about that, yeah. I do remember now.
I would
We
rather,
could.
no, I can't say. I think it's nice when it's one person.
Right.
I had forgotten we talked about Avis.
Yes,
Honestly,
we did.
that would be all right with me too.
And what about Guy Grove? He was a trustee for
Yeah.
ever. I mean, can we do more than one? We can do two.
We could do two.
Yeah, last year's was 2. But
I'm okay with 1, 2, or 3. I mean,
Wow.
I like all those people. It's hard to choose.
Good reason for it. Yeah.
I mean, you could do it as all three and do a list of former. They're all served.
Right.
right,
They've all
Just thank them
Dedicated.
for their serving the community. It's up to you folks.
Does not matter to me.
What say you, Leonard?
Well, Avis, Guy, and you had another one?
Andy Bolio.
Okay. Yeah. We didn't do that once? We didn't do Andy Bolio? What?
Not since I've been here, I don't think.
I-
I did Sally.
I don't
and
think we
Dave,
have
but,
since I've been here, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know, but Avis,
With Avis and Guy passing away,
they passed away.
Yeah.
Andy hasn't,
right?
and I know my wife and the Sheldon town clerk, I think it was the year or 2 years later, they dedicated the report to her. She was town clerk for 10 years.
So you're saying we gotta line up for the next 3 years? Do one.
Right? We could have it set for the next 3.
Make it easier.
Do one a year.
Well, it should be the year they pass away. I don't think it,
I was gonna say, like, could we do a, I don't know what the proper term is, but like memoriam, that's not the right term, something for those that have passed, and then do a dedication for Andy.
Yeah, we could do that, must be.
Not quite like a eulogy type thing, but like,
Have a page or two dedicated to,
And he might not be pleased if we put him on the same page as those that have gone before.
right, I'm saying like not dedicate to all
Right,
3,
right.
but like have like a
Agreed.
dedication to one, and then a separate, you know, we'd like to,
Yeah,
like,
remembrance.
in remembrance
Uh-huh.
for,
and like thank you for your service.
this is a few years ago, but Val Bunk, we dedicated it to him while he was still living, and he says, I'm really touched by this. He says, I'm alive, I can read it, I can
Yeah,
see
I
it.
was kind of thinking that about Andy, is that
Yeah.
it'd be nice
Same.
if he can see himself in the book.
Yeah, like Avis, we could have done this, before now, and Avis would have seen it.
I like that idea of doing a dedication to Andy and then a
Memorial
memorial
page for-
page
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
Avis and Guy.
yeah,
yeah,
great.
good with, I like that.
All right, sounds like that's settled.
We'll have to get the artists and writers working on that, figure out that.
I'll forfeit that.
Okay.
Yeah, someone else, I guess, would be helpful. I mean, I can do Andy's, because I've known Andy and stuff, but I mean, I knew a guy and he was, but not nearly to the
Did you know
capacity.
Apparently not as well as I thought I did, going through everything.
Were you fairly close to Guy?
It was slapped on the wrist a couple of times.
Fairly,
in the
but
legislature.
I can talk with his wife, I can talk, because he's got only his wife and his daughter left.
Okay, so
I
we'll
can
put
get-
you in charge of trying to get some info for Guy. You
Okay,
can get some info for Avis, and you can get some info for Andy.
Good.
Sounds fair.
Do we have
Check.
to ask Andy's permission for this?
I
Or
don't
do we
think
just
so.
do it?
I think we just do it.
Just do it, okay. Okay, just willing to try.
He
Can't
won't
remember
want
how we've done it in
You'd
the
say
past.
no, so no.
Right, he would absolutely, we're not gonna ask him. All right, set the date for the annual meeting, March 10th. It should be, if I remember, that's our
That's,
annual meeting night. Do we need to move on it, or is
we
it?
do have a motion to set that. yes.
All right, so we'll take a motion to set the date for the village's annual meeting as March 10th. Do we have a motion?
I make the motion, you,
All right,
March 10th.
Leonard
Second.
moved, Heather seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Any other business this evening?
Young's Accounting bought TD Bank, and that big sign in front of TD Bank, they must have purchased that. If they must have gone with the building.
Yep.
And I was just wondering if anybody, which would be probably you, John, if we talked to them, if there could be anything, anything of the village occurring, like town meeting, things like that, to put them on there, because it's not being used at all.
It's gone.
It's gone.
They took it down.
Oh, they did?
They took it down, threw it away.
No, I watched him take it down. I don't think it's salvageable. I
Yeah,
think it was more.
I loaned an impact wrench to Mr.
When did they
Casaban
take
to
it
take it down. 2 months ago?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. We're spending too much time on the hill.
Good idea.
Okay, I guess that, okay. Delete what I just said.
Alright.
I was wondering if we've heard any follow-up from folks about the rate case here, was that just last week?
So there was 2 folks on the call, and they expressed, I guess there's 3. They expressed, which I don't know why they do it this way, I should ask the PUCs. So I don't know if you noticed, but the timing was backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the presentation first by, well, VEPSA presented for us, and then the PUC also presented. And then it gets handed over by the department, and they host the open forum. So all 3 people basically said that after the presentation that they understand why there would need to be a rate increase, but they just felt it was a little high. And a couple of people noted, Social Security not going up that much and so forth, so. But again, they were all, I guess, nice about it. They thanked the employees for what they do, they know, and they understood.
It was a respectful forum.
Yep, that was good, so.
Any other follow-up though, any people after the fact?
We haven't heard, well, before, we had a couple people come in and actually asked, they had, because, they usually term tariff. So people were relating that to, like, Trump tariffs. They thought is this because of the Trump tariffs or whatever, and we had to explain the tariff portion of that. But none after, and it takes a few days for the department to, I guess, filter it all through and they get back to us. They actually get back to our lawyer and then get back to us.
There was a public comment where they can go online to some site, right?
There
Did
is,
we
yeah,
get that
there's-
information back? Is that closed up?
I don't remember how long that was open. I don't, we will get it at some point. Yeah, but I don't.
So the rates won't go up in February, like, they can still tell us no,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, they
Yeah.
can still tell us.
It was
Yeah.
really fascinating though, I mean, like, I've been on the board long enough, so I've seen this, right? But like, boards have have level funded for a very long time, so we're looking at an 8.55% increase at this point. But it makes it a 1.8% increase per year over 15 years because of so many years of level funding. Which is kind of one of the situations we've been in the last, like, since I've been on the board, is kind of balancing out and correcting because,
We're trying to get caught back up.
yeah, because unfortunately
Do
we
a
just got
standard
so
increase.
behind.
Now if we can figure out if we need a 1.5 or 1.8 a year, do it every year rather than dump it on
Right,
9%.
I think it was 9 years we went without a rate increase.
right, yeah, and there was another department like where we didn't increase for about a decade too. It was just, yeah, that's a challenge of choosing to level fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, 8.55 is a high percentage.
Does this,
But if we had done 2% a year, we wouldn't
Would be
be
the issue.
feeling it so
Yeah.
much.
probably be more,
I mean, a little bit too is the markets. I mean, they not only they level funded some of those years, but my understanding is, back in the mid 2000 teens, 13, 14 through there. I mean, energy prices were down. So transmission wasn't as high. Renewable energy credits that we have to buy were really a thing then. So there's a lot of things in the market that have changed too that have not helped
Yeah.
get us to where we are. So, and we have seen luckily a lot of the material stuff is start either go down a little bit or level out for the light department. A lot of materials that we order, so that's kind of nice to see from the kind of COVID inflation.
does it have to be approved by the legislature?
No, it has to be approved by the
Just for the public service board?
Yeah, they'll approve it.
All right.
They are, I mean, it is, we'll get to that. I guess since the High Park incident, I don't know if anybody's even followed that at all. The legislature sounds like they may want to get their hands in a little bit. But time will tell.
Yeah, sort of what I've been hearing.
Yeah. Which is a little frustrating because, I mean, all of our records are public. You can see anything we have to do, so.
All right. Any other business? I want to just pitch out that we moved.
Oh, yeah, okay. The youth center has moved locations. Pretty exciting. We're at 231 Main Street now, so it used to be a Century 21 building. Several times a day, I'm told by adults and youth how great the new space is. It's bigger. It's much, much bigger, more natural lighting. I was in there on Friday and there were over a dozen kids in there and I didn't feel like there was more than 3, which in the last place if you had 10 kids in there, you felt like there were 20. So it's just a different kind of layout and stuff, and there's stations and they're spread out and it's lovely.
Can you put it on record who actually funds the cafe?
It's predominantly funded right now through the United Way.
Okay.
And then we have some people making donations.
Seems to be some preconceived notions out there that the village is paying for it, or the school board is paying for it.
Right, I know, and I've been-
And I try to tell them, no. Said the village was involved to help you get a grant, but that
Yes.
was it.
The village was the fiscal agent for the first round of grants. And since then, we created a nonprofit and the village is no longer responsible for any grants. The village did not pay into it at all,
Yeah.
but like John's time and Abby's time was as a community organization. Did a little bit of work there, but otherwise, no. And there's a partnership with the school, but for services there. But it's not funded by the school directly, and it's not a village responsibility, and the village is not. There's been no taxpayer money put directly into it at all. Yeah, it's
If
been
they
very
have
funded.
questions, I'll tell them to listen to the meeting minutes.
Right around 7:30.
About an hour and a half of the meeting. Yeah. Or hour in the meeting. Yeah.
All right. Any other business? Going once, going twice. All right. I'll take a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing negotiations in which premature public knowledge may compromise the position of the municipality.
I'll make that motion.
Jason moved. Dave seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.